Hello everyone, this is the Ravens Librarian playing Dawn of War, Warhammer 40k. Gonna be doing mission 4. In the last mission, we defended a city from an Orc invasion to soon manage to push them back. Now in this mission, we're finally gonna go head in, find the Orc boss, and finish his threat upon this planet.
The defense of the city of Magna Bonum was a success. The Orks caught us off our guard, but not unprepared. I will not underestimate these aliens again. It is clear now that their primary push was towards the capital city, and they have moved in to attack with a speed I have rarely seen a military force capable of achieving. I have read reports of Orc clans who focus on fast strikes, but I did not realize they could be so coordinated. It is as if something is driving the Orcs here, some unknown desire or instinct. The Imperial Guard regiments watching over the city are decimated and will not be resupplied for at least 24 hours. The Orcs will renew their attacks far sooner. Our scouts are reporting a force massing 50 kilometers from the city that dwarfs the group that attacked Magna Bonum, and reports from civilians speak of a mighty Orc who leads them, bigger and more cunning than the rest. If the capital city falls, this planet will not be far behind. I cannot allow this to occur.
So I don't know if this is the intended reference, but when he talks about clans or group types of orcs that are capable of doing incredibly quick actions, I wonder if that's a reference to the Speed Freak orc faction. I might be using the wrong term, but there's like a classification of orcs that are really into basically vehicles, and they really like using like they're the part of the campaigns that focus on just that being fast and being very maneuverable. So they tend to be the ones in bikes, or I think they also include the ones that fly, although those are usually called flyboys. Yeah. Now, like I've mentioned, that this game is possibly intended to be sort of like an entry point into the franchise. I think part of the way you can tell that is the way that Gabriel talks about the orcs. Not just the exposition, but just the way he talks about them hints at the idea that he hasn't actually faced that many orcs before. Because, again, like generally speaking, orcs are pretty dumb and incompetent, but again, that's as a race, that's their generalization. That's just so that an individual orc is not a big problem in speaking. Like if this Space Marine chapter has had to deal with any orcs of any capacity at any point in their history, which for Space Marines that can literally span into the thousands of years without too much exaggeration, then he has to have met a war boss before. And he has to know this is usually their standard. This isn't even that complicated of a war boss. And heck, we'll bring it up. But yeah, the guy leading this campaign, even he's not even that impressive. Here, just watch it. You'll see him. See what I mean? That's the orcs' go-to combat phrase. Instead of charge or attack, they just love screaming that "whoa." Just to be clear, those guys on the bikes are not the speed freaks I was talking about. There's other vehicles. They don't appear in this game, but they're in the other stuff. Books, uh, tabletop, obviously, which is like the main source of gameplay for a 40k fan.
Everything is ready, boss. Them Humies is in for a good stomping. This is gonna be the best fight of their miserable lives.
Just make sure it's the last fight of their lives.
I don't take orders from you, Yumi.
We've held up our side of the bargain, have we not? You wanted a new planet to wage war on, and we have given it to you. You wanted to face the Imperium's greatest warriors, the Space Marines. They are here. We've even provided you with weapons and Imperial tanks to use on the battlefield. And all we ask in return is that you keep the Imperials distracted from our operations here.
You've kept your word, but that still don't mean you can order the Orks around.
My apologies. We've delivered the last of the weaponry. They're in the hands of your servants. We'll take our leave now. I respectfully request that you keep the Marines busy for as long as you can.
We'll keep them more than busy. We'll keep them dead.
The thought of kowtowing to these creatures disgusts me. The Orks are a tool, nothing more. And quite an effective one, I might add. Perhaps. But I dislike providing such unpredictable aliens with our own weaponry. Lord Bale. Orks are not unpredictable. Quite the contrary. You can rely on them to turn against you. But they will honor our agreement as long as we provide them with enemies to satiate their battle lust. If we intimidated them into doing our bidding, showed them our strength, they would take pause before betraying us. You cannot intimidate something that knows no fear. Trouble yourself no longer with the Orks. We will have what we came for and be gone before they finish with the Imperials and turn on us.
Why is we talking with them Yumis instead of fighting with them?
Speaking of,
Them smelly chaos boys is weak. Not nearly enough of a challenge for the boys. If they were strong like Orks, they wouldn't need us to fight for them. We'll take their guns and their help, and when we're done chopping up all the Humies, we'll come back here and chop them up as well.
Orbital imagery shows a heavy concentration of Orks in the area. We must secure a location and establish a base before destroying the war boss and his clan. Combine the holy fire of the whirlwinds with the jump packs of our assault marines. Cleanse this area.
now this used to be one of the most annoying, near impossible things for me to do when I first started playing this game. Not this mission, this part. Just this part right here in the beginning. Why? Because for some reason, my dumb brain back then couldn't figure out how to use these things. So, first things first,
To the skies.
get rid of the builders.
Under fire.
Come on. Quickly, come on, quickly, quickly. Alright, scatter. No.
Activating jump pack.
Scatter to the wind, scatter to the wind. There we go. You've done your part. So what I didn't know is that I barely use these things. I'm not very good at the micromanaging part. So what happens is, you need to get them to get on this. And then they do the work for you.
Preparing whirlwind missile battery to fire.
Main goal is to get them to blow up the building quickly.
Triangulating a
And the only other drawback about these things is they, at least in this game, they don't account for friendly fire.
Yes, my lord.
So there is a good chance that you will wind up getting them killed. Getting your allies killed using this thing.
Triangulating attack coordinates.
There's a similar mission in the sequel game, Winter Assault. In that mission, it wasn't so much I couldn't get through it, so much as I was making the mission harder on myself. They can kill him, but if I wait for them to get this done, it'll take too dang long.
Orders received, brother.
Alright, something went wrong here.
Taken to the sides.
There we go. Good.
Awaiting orders.
I'll deal with this very quickly. So we'll talk about the Chaos Boys in the future installments.
Scouts report the war bosses in the vicinity of this location. It seems a second Orc clan has gathered between us. They are heavily defended on this plateau. They must be eliminated to clear a path to the war boss.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well. Venerate the immortal Emperor. I can sense the enemy. They are close.
So my impression of this campaign is that it's one with spikes, more hills of like the combat difficulty. Reason is that they don't just make you fight the same enemy throughout the entire campaign. Sorry to spoil again if you really were
Yes, Lord.
watching this for the first time, but
All due haste.
I need one of you.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Build me this.
Build routine 721 initiated.
Fear denies faith.
Just one of you.
Onward to glory.
But yeah, in this campaign, first you fight the Orcs, then you fight, we'll get that in the next mission. So, the way they do it is that you, even though you don't have the best weapons here, technically you're fighting the Orcs at, some of their best.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Obviously, it's not really their best, even in gameplay terms, because if it was, you'd really
Yes,
need
Lord.
all of their weaponry,
Initializing build protocol.
all of the Space Marine weaponry to actually compete with them. So, the guy in the big gun
Position secure.
and the metal jaw in his back, that was the war boss. That's basically the head honcho of the Orcs
I
in this
stand
area.
ready.
Orders received, brother.
And like the conversation between him and the other character, who we will not get into yet, talk. This is basically, the Orcs are here just to fight.
Heavy fire.
Oh, they already showed up.
Objective
So,
acquired.
the Orcs actually have their own speeding guys with jetpacks.
Yes, my lord.
Because in the Orcs' case, it's literally rockets.
Yes, Lord.
Because the Orcs don't do anything.
Assault Marines are now
Straightforward.
available to us. They can be built from the chapel barracks.
Initializing build protocol.
Assault Marine are these guys. Now they're cool and all, and in actual, in other gameplay settings, their abilities, their jetpacks are really cool and useful. But in this game, for me, they're not worth it. Reason is, once again, mostly on my side. It's my lack of ability in multitasking and micro using the characters. Because what basically happens is, if you combine these guys with any of the other units, like these guys with the guns, because the best thing is to have them combine their forces. But instead, what'll happen is I'll send them
Marine squad deployed.
in a group to do something, and
Yes, Lord.
inevitably,
I will do as
these
you
guys will run off because their jetpacks make them go faster than everyone else. And they'll wind up getting themselves killed.
Yes, my lord.
Because I didn't actually
Marine
put
squad deployed.
any force in conjunction with them
We stand ready.
to make sure they didn't get themselves killed.
Stay vigilant, brothers.
So yeah, in short, not for me, not worth it. I'll use them here because the game already gave them to me, and I'll try to show off what they can do. But in future missions, I'm barely going to use these guys. If anybody has a good explanation for how or why I can use them in a way that, works, feel free to share. But for me, that's as far
Yes,
as
Lord.
this is as far as their contribution is going to go. Not accounting for when
I
they
shall obey.
again force them on me in future installments.
We stand ready. The enemy is attacking.
Again,
We are the Emperor's
oh, that's
chosen.
it.
Ready.
That's enough of that.
To the skies. For the glory of the Imperium.
Praise the Emperor.
What's your order? To the skies. None shall stop us. Heresy grows from idleness. Understood. For the Emperor. Under fire.
Fear not the cycle.
For the Emperor.
They'll be fine. You guys handle it? All right.
The machine cult is ready to be requisitioned. Build it to gain access to vehicles.
Should probably build more
Here
reactors.
to serve.
I always forget how slow this is if I don't build more of them.
With all due haste. I await your instructions.
So, Orc Boss is the big bad that runs this show here. And like the character said, they're only here to fight. And the only reason the other faction is even bothering to work with them, and by work with them, it's literally just giving them weapons and pointing them in the direction of the Space Marines, is because clearly they need a distraction for something. The Orcs are only putting up with it because the Orcs only care about getting the best fights, at least in general. And in the case of this Orc boss, he's decided that the Chaos guys whoever they are not worth his time.
Here to serve.
So rather than fight them, he's gonna put all his attention on fighting the Space Marines
As you ask.
until they all die.
Yes, my lord.
At which point he'll turn around
Understood.
and kill them.
Taking damage.
Are you two still not done?
Direct us to the enemy. Fear our wrath.
I better get the combo going. Variant's probably gonna die.
Heresy grows from idleness.
Venerate the immortal Emperor. Through discipline, we prevail. Through the destruction of our enemies do we earn our salvation.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Awaiting orders.
Let's go.
Orders received, brother. Under fire.
Beware the alien.
Fear our wrath. We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. None shall stop us.
There's an example of what I was talking about the whole these guys being faster than these guys.
Moving out. Orders received.
At this point, we're not fighting the actual Orc boss. Doesn't make too much of a difference because it's just the
Engaging
AI.
the enemy.
But we're not fighting him. We're fighting a smaller camp that he put. That's put between here and us. That's the red marker on the bottom.
Claim it in the name of the Emperor. Awaiting orders.
Oh, this is gonna get very bloody. No, no, do not
Protects.
chase him. It's in a mech. He will beat you.
Here to serve.
Taking damage.
This. I'm gonna hold up. It's not that I'm not gonna get vehicles. I'm just not gonna get vehicles yet. I think I can get through the first camp without them. Once I do need them, I plan to get them somewhere else.
For the Emperor.
Did you guys get it? Alright.
The Emperor protects.
Orders received. Onward to glory. We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. Weapons at ready. It is time. Onward to glory. We will crush the enemies
This
of the Imperium.
is the big mech. He's basically the closest thing the Orcs have to like engineers in this game. So the Orcs have a lot of tech, but they're not a very tech, friendly faction. Again, because generally they're not actually very intelligent. But they, for reasons that are related to their origin, they do in fact
Engaging the enemy.
know how to use things like this. So I'm pretty sure I just lost the assault range. That is totally my fault. Oh, crud. I'm about to lose the commander.
Attacking as ordered.
I command in the name of the Emperor.
Thankfully, these guys are not plots, and they're automatic.
Attack protocol 23.
So they'll bring themselves back from the dead,
Engaging the enemy.
as well as their Orc boss, apparently.
Direct us to the enemy.
Crud.
At your command. Orders received.
No, come on.
Taking heavy fire. Amazing night. For the glory of the Imperium. What's your order?
Okay, this is not. This failure was on me. I'm just not.
Moving out. None shall stop.
I am not paying enough attention. Come on, blow it up. Ah, nuts.
Stay vigilant, brothers.
Well, this was another failure.
Venerate the immortal Emperor.
That should have gone a lot better. Hopefully I'll be able to clean up my... Yeah, I know I'm losing it. Not a whole lot I can do about it at this point. I know, game, I know.
Marine squad deployed. We stand ready. Orders received. Heresy grows from idleness. Marine squad deployed. Awaiting orders. Fear our wrath. Yes, my lord. Awaiting orders. Moving out. Marine squad deployed. The enemy is attacking.
What would you have me do?
Clean up my mess.
The Emperor protect us. My aim shall not falter. The Emperor protects. On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Marine squad deployed.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby.
Now, thankfully, these orcs are not all that smart.
For the Emperor.
And they do the thing
We
that
are united in his service.
they just do the obvious dumb thing, which is just
Marine squad deployed.
fly ahead and get themselves killed. That works because I'm not leaving anything behind my camp to defend it. But in this situation,
For the honor of the chapter.
they're just doing that
Follow me into battle.
when I'm actually defending myself.
What would you have me do? My faith is my shield. Follow me into battle. While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace. Praise the Emperor.
You seem to be stuck on a loop. Where are you?
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Oh, nice.
Praise the Emperor. Today the enemy shall know fear.
Okay, I think the sound is glitching because now the game's
The Emperor protects.
just making them repeat stuff non-stop.
For the honor of the chapter.
Has that been happening all this time? Because I don't remember that happening all this time.
For the Emperor. By my command. Attack!
That mech boy, that was guarding that camp. Hopefully he might show up again, but like I said, he's the closest thing the orcs have to engineers and mech experts.
Follow my lead.
And like I said, related to all the other stuff, orcs are genetically built to be very, to be very deadly.
Attack!
They're only really interested in war. But they need to be competent at war, otherwise they'd be a joke. Which leads to stuff like this, where they
Space
just...
Marines, advance!
They just have.
I serve mankind.
I don't know. They just have competent weaponry and stuff.
Follow my lead.
Alright, let's see.
We shall know no fear.
They didn't rebuild the camp. They didn't rebuild the
Follow
mech.
my lead.
It's very lucky for me.
Space Marines, advance! My aim shall not falter.
This time we'll pull it off.
My aim shall not falter. aim shall not falter.
Hey, they're over-targeting the librarian this time.
My aim shall not falter.
My powers are
For
yours.
the Emperor. Space Marines, advance! For the Emperor. We will establish a forward base at this location to facilitate ready access to Space Marines. We will need many to ensure the war boss is dead and buried. Follow me into battle.
So yeah, this is basically the beginning stage,
My
giving
aim
you
shall not falter.
just an experience of what to
serve
expect.
Mankind.
At your command.
After here, this is when you have to worry
Moving
about
out.
the actual.
Take and hold.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Yes, my lord.
These two.
I await your instructions.
Ah. Sometimes it doesn't
I
register
exist to serve.
that you want to bring, because obviously these guys aren't designed for combat. They don't always register that you want to send them alongside combat forces. So they think it's like a mistake or something.
Position secure. Area secured.
Hopefully these guys can get through without getting killed. And oh yeah, the mech boy basically just has, for reasons again related to the Orcs' origin, they just have knowledge that they need in order to make things work. So the Orcs can do just about anything they need in order to be an actual threat in the setting. Even if, as a collective, as a species, they're all pretty dumb. But enough of them know it's like, alright, this is how you make guns, this is how you make a spaceship.
I await your instructions.
And as you can tell with the way they talk and all, they're given a very comical, over-the-top
I shall obey.
way of talking to convey the fact that, they're not all there as far as brains are concerned. Another thing which isn't too obvious in this game,
Yes, Lord.
but it's more present in
The enemy is attacking.
the thing I put them there.
Thermoplasma generators are available. They will provide us greater access to power.
With all due haste. Yes, most beneficent one.
So now I land on the more common problem, the inverse, which is I have a lot of energy, which is for the extra really powerful stuff. I don't have a lot of the main thing, which I need to make actual units.
Heresy grows from idleness. Objective acquired.
I'm setting a rally point so that in the event that I spawn more units, I can just bring them here. This is going to be our beachhead.
Yes, most beneficent one. Initializing build protocol.
Once I've got this set up,
For the Emperor!
start moving in smaller
There
ways.
is no such thing as innocence, only degrees of guilt.
You should know.
Orders received, brother.
Yes, Lord? Build routine 721 initiated.
Heresy grows from idleness.
I'll try to make a little bit of progress while we wait for... We're definitely going to need vehicles in order to take on the camp, the base itself, but on the way I'm just going to get the Space Marines to, make some progress. I'm on the lowest difficulty. It's not that hard to get to the ending.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
That is actually done so that, again, in harder levels, in harder difficulties,
in his service.
They'll use this area to ambush you.
For the Emperor.
And if you get caught in this area, things can go
For the glory of the Emperor.
Things can go very bad very quickly. So the goal is to get out of there fast. Crush the first wave that comes to get you.
By my command, attack!
On fire.
I command in the name of the Emperor. Whirlwinds and their long-range artillery are being made available. Build them from the machine cult.
Charge! Marine squad deployed.
On. Done.
We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. Objective locked.
Oh yeah, that could have gone better.
Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Again, you would know.
Yes, most beneficent one? Initializing build protocol.
Fear denied. Consolidating position on the objective. Direct us to the enemy.
That feels about right.
Awaiting orders.
My knowledge is at your
Whirlwind
disposal.
artillery tank deployed.
I can sense the enemy. They are close.
Whirlwind here. The machine spirit is prepared.
So the whirlwinds I'm going to mainly use for defensive reasons. Set them up in a way so that if I screw up again and the enemy sends another wave to crush
At
me,
your command.
they're going to have their own stack of problems to deal with.
Venerate the immortal Emperor.
Understood. Stay vigilant, brothers.
I have awoken.
Commencing attack. Taking heavy fire. Moving out. Strategic point identified. Awaiting orders. What is your order? Cleanse, purge, kill.
It is better for the Emperor than live for yourself. To me, my brothers.
I have no idea what's causing that audio glitch, and I apologize for anyone who's hearing it. I really hope that's just on my side.
Whirlwind artillery tank deployed. Whirlwind here. An easy objective.
area is secure.
Oh, look at that. They're trying to take it back from me. And sometimes it is a little silly how long it takes the AI to catch on to what's going on. It's like, oh wait, is there an enemy still there?
It is better to die for the Emperor than live for yourself.
I'm waiting until I have enough of these guys because I'm gonna need them for the next part.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Yeah. Hey, didn't you hear?
Faith and duty.
Didn't you hear the last? The guy in the cutscene? Orcs don't. They don't feel fear.
Whirlwind artillery tank deployed.
Alright, flamer guys.
Is our shield. Heresy grows from idleness.
Also,
Weapons at
that
ready.
reminded
It
me
is
of something.
time.
You know how I mentioned back in the third mission between the librarian and the captain that, you know, there's kind of in-game reasons for why the librarian just sort of gives the arguably dumb question of like, why don't we just charge at the orcs? We have better, you know, we're better, we're stronger, we'll totally win. And that just leaves, and it's kind of just an excuse to give the captain the chance
I
to
am ready to serve.
exposition
Again,
dump
by his word.
why they don't do it like that. So in this cutscene, they did the same thing with the other faction, the one we haven't really confronted yet, but it's the ones that we're talking with the orcs, talking about, you know, wanting to use them to
I will be there
mess
soon.
up the Marines, but, you know, not trusting them, wanting to just... And then the guy with the sight was like, oh, we should just use our might, you know, crush them in one big battle, and then
The machine spirit is prepared.
then they'd know not to fear us.
Moving out.
Ever vigilant.
And in that conversation,
Cleanse, purge, kill.
again, you can argue that the same thing is being done as in the conversation in the last mission. One character is obligated to give the dumb suggestion just so that they have something to actually respond to, so that there's an actual response to that idea. Now, in doing that,
At last, back to war.
it does the thing, because, as I said, the person being smart is the one that points out that, yeah, you can't just brute force your way with the orcs, that's counterproductive. And for the most part, doesn't really do what you want it to do. Well, that tells you which one is the smart one in the conversation, or which, if not the smartest, which one has the more experience. Alright, wait.
Command me.
Marine squad
Faith is
deployed.
eternal.
What is your order? Stay vigilant, brothers.
Command me. Even in death I still serve.
Alright, see if
I
this
will
works.
purge the unclean.
Any minute now. Any...
Moving out.
Look at that
There
monstrosity.
it is.
I have heard legends of such beasts, but I've never seen one. Men, concentrate your fire. We must take this creature down.
Faith is our shield. Weapons at ready.
This is a squiggle. Wow, the whirlwind's actually hitting it from here? Man, I forgot how good the aim is for that thing.
Whirlwind artillery tank here. As you command. Whirlwind artillery tank here. An easy objective.
Oh, look who finally showed up.
With courage and honor.
The enemy is attacking!
I command in the name of the Emperor.
We got this. We got this.
My powers are
Got him.
To the rally point! Our faith holds us. Fall back! Awaiting orders. Fear our restored. We are the Emperor's chosen.
So yeah, that both worked and didn't work. Oh, for Pete's sake.
At your command. At your command.
All back.
Weapons at ready. It is time. Stay vigilant, brothers. Stay vigilant, brothers. Ever vigilant.
So
Weapons at ready. It is
those
time.
would be the bloody tanks.
Rally point! For the Emperor! Our faith holds us.
Whirlwind here. Approaching
I
target.
have awoken.
Ever vigilant. Heresy grows from idleness. Taking Heresy grows from idleness. Awaiting orders. Direct us to the enemy. Understood.
Faith is eternal.
Cleanse. Purge. Direct us to the enemy. What is your order? Initiating attack. Protocol 23.
At last, back to war. I will purge the I have awoken. Command me. Moving out. Take me into battle. I have waited
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Fall back!
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
To the rally point!
Praise the Emperor. I shall not fail.
I am the instrument of his will. I now go back to war. Identifying targets.
Okay, well this is kind of
Moving out.
insane.
To me, my brother, command me. Taking damage.
I definitely need to reconsider putting that there.
At your command. What's your order? To the rally point!
Alright.
To the rally point! Charge! Regrouping. Returning to battle. Fall back and regroup! Fall back! Returning to battle. I am ready to serve. Again.
I await your instructions.
Regroup!
I shall obey.
Awaiting orders. Understood. Squad morale restored. Regrouping. Taking heavy fire. Ever vigilant.
Today the enemy shall know fear.
Fall back!
Whirlwind artillery tank here.
I am the instrument of his will. I shall end you. Fate is our shield. Understood. Awaiting orders. Squad morale restored. We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. Faith is eternal. By his word. By his word. Taking haste. I will purge the unclean. I will be there soon.
Here to serve. Yes, Lord.
At last, back to war. Burn, heretic. We are the Emperor's chosen. Maintain attack formation. Heresy grows from idleness.
But for some reason, not only did
Yes, my lord.
the AI get smart
Charge.
and put a lot of tanks, he sent them all in one gigantic wave.
We stand ready.
Oh, right.
Moving out. We are the Emperor's chosen. Initiating attack protocol 23. Awaiting orders. Onward to glory! Faith is our shield. Onward to glory! Command me.
I await your instructions.
At last, back to war. Even in death I still serve.
Might have been able to recover.
Take me into battle.
Hopefully that was the worst of it. We'll be able to get ourselves across the dang ridge. Once we get into their defenses, we can start blowing up their infrastructure. The big problem is he
I
just
have awoken
it's giving him enough time to recover from this.
by his word.
But the war boss himself isn't really the problem.
By his word, I shall end you. I have waited long for this day. I will purge the unclean. Die! Die! Die!
While the enemies of the Emperor still draw breath, there can be no peace.
I have awoken.
Now, Dreadnoughts can actually do pretty decent damage to these guys on their own, but
Attacking as ordered.
At last, back to war. I shall end you.
Attacking mates.
By his word.
hopefully that means that was the last of them.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Objective logged. We are the Emperor's chosen.
Now hopefully we can...
We are the Emperor's chosen.
Once we're on our way.
Maintain attack formation.
Because once we commit to an attack, we gotta commit. And make it count. One decisive hit.
At your command. Weapons at ready. It is time. Faith is our shield. We stand for the Emperor. Faith is our shield. Securing objective.
Venerate the immortal Emperor. At your command.
I am the instrument of his will.
Maintain attack formation.
First I'll make sure there's no ridiculous ambush.
Maintain attack formation. Attacking as ordered. Taking damage. Charge. Initiating attack protocol 23. Initiating attack protocol 23. Attacking as ordered. For the glory of the Imperium. Engaging the enemy. Commencing attack. Orders received, brother. Cleanse, purge, kill.
Alright, that definitely means...
What is your order? Stay vigilant, brothers.
I am the instrument of his will.
Moving out. Orders received, brother. Stay vigilant, brothers. Attacking as ordered. Attacking as ordered. Initiating attack protocol 23. Regroup. Engaging the enemy. attack formation.
Now we're making good progress. Also, once again, I am genuinely surprised
None shall stop us.
by the range of these things.
Stay vigilant, brothers. Onward to glory! Space Marines attack! Taking heavy fire!
Any chance?
Squad file restored.
Alright.
Fear our wrath. Returning to battle. Onward to glory!
Alright, so they actually build these things quite fast.
Strategic point identified.
I mean, I blow them up just as quickly, but still, that is impressive.
I am ready to serve again. I will purge the undead I still serve.
I think I'll set these guys up
I am ready to serve again.
on the bridge.
I will be there soon.
The bridge is a pretty obvious choke point. That's why they used it, after all.
Yes, my lord. Taking haste. For the glory of the Imperium. Commencing attack.
Got him. And he thought he got away.
Securing objective.
I am ready to serve again.
Alright, time to finish this.
Cleanse. Purge. Kill.
By my command, attack!
I haven't actually really talked a lot about the Orc boss. I already kind of gave most of the idea behind them. Like, they're the big, strong ones in the army. Strongest Orc is the one that leads. If an Orc lives long enough to be a threat to the Imperium, that usually means that
Taking damage.
they're either ridiculously strong or very competent.
For the glory of the Imperium. No retreat! No surrender! Initiating attack protocol 23.
Now, in this case, the guy in this campaign isn't that dangerous or that smart. He's not meant to be. He's meant to be a more general example of what you can expect from the Orcs.
Attacking as ordered.
In future campaigns, we will get bosses that are technically meant to be more competent.
I command in the name of the Emperor.
Not a really competent Orcs are, you know, in the source materials, the books and the novels that talk about them. Those have some really clever Orcs.
Engaging the enemy. Attacking as ordered.
Now, the funny thing is, I mentioned that
Commencing attack.
the strategy behind defeating the Orc bosses, because if they're competent, you want to remove the most competent person in the Orc army.
Commencing attack.
And because once you kill them, you tend to sow chaos in the Orc army.
Commencing attack.
Because their leaders start wasting time fighting over who gets to be the next boss.
Of the Imperium. Attacking as ordered.
Alright.
Orders received.
I took out the HQ, but I think I need to take out
Cleanse. Purge. Kill.
on this side where
For the glory of the Imperium. Stay vigilant.
they might have anything. If they can build units, then they can build the... Dang it.
to battle. Orders received.
You can tell the tanks are the really dangerous enemy. Also, when I kind of
Orders received.
when the boss from the other army mentioned that they gave these orcs weapons,
Orders received.
I have to assume that what they mean is that
We will crush the enemies of the
they
Imperium.
gave them the vehicles that the Imperium uses,
We will
because
crush the
most of the
enemies
orcs'
Imperium.
weaponry in this campaign is either junk that they just turn into weapons, or it's retrofitted weapons,
Cleanse, purge, kill.
which means they took the tanks from the army and just, painted them red and, turned them into orc weapons. This is the end of that fight.
Brother Tantheus?
Burned beyond recovery of his gene seed, along with Brother Michaelis. Nothing was left of them save for ash. They burned from the inside out.
Anything else to report?
The Orc warboss has been destroyed, but we saw a dropship leave the area. Captain, she bore the 8-pointed star.
The mark of the ruinous powers of chaos.
The forces of chaos? Here? Now?
Tartarus has endured several Black Crusades led by the terrible Chaos Champions. However, it seems too convenient that Orcs and these heretics are here at the same time. But I trust the eyes of our scouts. Isidore, do you sense anything?
No, I have sensed nothing. But
No.
if the nature of Brother Tantheus's demise is any indication, then they would have a sorcerer with them who would be capable of masking their presence, especially with all the background static caused by the Orcs.
At least you can see the ship. You can't really see it, but
Our honored guest has arrived.
Who is it?
Inquisitor Mordecai Toth, protector of the Emperor's divine word and will.
Is he here to take command?
An Inquisitor may have near unlimited power. Yes, he can commission the service of any Imperial citizen, from peasant to planetary governor, but
I shall not cede command of my Space Marines to him, Inquisitor or not.
that's pretty standard.
Then why is he here? Does he suspect one of us of heresy?
He is an Inquisitor. They suspect everyone of heresy. If chaos taints this world, then that explains his presence. We must share with him what we discovered. Inquisitor Toth, welcome to Tartarus.
Thank you, Captain. But we have little time for courtesies. You and your men must leave Tartarus. Now.
Dun dun dun. Hopefully I'll be able to remember to get more into this in the next mission, but because they left a lot of things there to talk about. What the 8-pointed star is, the ruinous powers of chaos, same thing, and of course our new character, the Inquisitor. Just in case you can't tell because of the low graphics, the guy who was talking with the librarian and the captain at the end, he's just a placeholder for the sergeants in the game. So he's when you have a squad, you can choose a specialized sergeant. I think that's the rank. He's the specialized person to take lead of the squad, and that usually raises their stats during combat. So he's just a placeholder for that. He's just there to be another exposition and character for the story to play out of. Also, in this obviously will be more involved in future missions, but if you recall in one of the previous missions, assuming I managed to record that part, the librarian was confronted by the person who appeared in this mission, but he didn't mention that, so we already know he's lying. The only question is why. But anyway, I'll leave some of that for the next installment. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you found my near failure a bit amusing, and hopefully I'll be able to do a bit better of showing my skill at this game. for what little it is. This has been the Raven's Librarian. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.